Live. Hello, it's Raymond Aaron. I'm so excited. I do this every month, but every month is special. I never say, oh my gosh, another month has gone by. No, I say, oh wow, I'm so excited. I wish I could do this every week, although it might be too oppressive for you. I don't know. But I'd love to know who's on the line today. So just say your name and the city you're from, and just say something nice like I love you or I love Ashar more than you or whatever you want to say. Ashar is spelled Ashar. He's my techno sidekick. He's my director of online marketing, and he's also the author of a book. Tell us about that, Ashar.
I am also the author of the book on digital marketing, More Money, More Clients, More Freedom.
Wow. And what's it called? What's the title of your book?
The book on digital marketing.
Really? Do you have a website?
Yes, I do. It's thebookondigitalmarketing.com.
I mean, that is hot. That is hot. Now I have a question. How your camera is too low, like it's like underneath your chin.
Okay.
You have
Yeah,
to
if I
turn
put it
back.
on the monitor, then okay, hold on. Let me see what I can do.
So I'm waiting for your messages. You say your name and the city you're from, and just say some hello greeting like "Have a wonderful July" or "How come Ashar is sitting in the basement?" Are you in the basement?
Yes, I am. I have
How can everyone in the world knows that you're in the basement? Have
a
you been bad? Has
No.
Sophia relegated you to the basement?
This is my man cave slash home office is in the basement.
You mean Sophia gets the entire house, the main floor, the second floor, the garage, the lawn, and you get the basement.
Yep. At least I got something.
You should have hired me to negotiate on your behalf. You got a raw deal. So do we have some responses from our eager clients? Happy to be on the line?
We do. We have Yona from London saying hi. We have James from Mississauga saying hi. We have Pat from the UK saying good to see
Oh, that's probably Pat Duckworth.
you. Yes.
Oh, great. Hi, Pat. And by the way, Pat, I love your new book. I love it. I love it. I just got my copy of it. Give a big hug to Jenny for me. I'm going to talk about that. Just before you go on, I helped a client of mine, Pat Duckworth, write a book, and she's quite an expert on helping women in menopause get through their menopause. And so she wrote a book with just an amazing title. It might be the best title of any book that any 1010 client has ever written. Her title was Hot Women, Cool Solutions. Just a brilliant title. And she met through me another 1010 client of mine, Jennifer Chichi, who is a nutritionist and who specializes, at least in her book, on helping mummies and daddies make wonderful lunches for their kids for school. And her book was called Not Just Sandwiches. And they met and they came up with the brainstorm idea that they should collaborate on and co-author a book on the topic of what women in menopause should eat in order to help them get through their menopause. And what a brilliant collaboration. A woman who's an expert in menopause and a woman who's an expert in nutrition getting together to help women going through menopause. I was so excited. I got my autographed copy in the mail a couple days ago. I'm over the moon excited. This is the first time that two unrelated 10-10-10 authors have gotten together, met through my program, and created something that's of real value to my clients around the world. And not my clients, to women around the world. Yeah. So more hellos, Ishar.
Okay, so we also have Donna from Los Angeles, Jackie from Vancouver saying excited to be here. Donna said I love you both. James from Mississauga, greetings Raymond and Ashar. Hilda from Thornhill in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. She said hello Raymond and Ashar. Paul from Novi, Michigan in the United States. Hello Raymond, can't make the event this week due to a family wedding. Phil from Luton, UK. Hi, Raymond. And we have Michael from Vancouver saying hi as well. We have Samantha from Calgary saying hi. Sabrani from the UK saying hello. Yeah, we have a bunch more, Raymond. Hold on.
Oh, read them. This is important. I need to know who's on the call. My wonderful clients want to say hello to me, and I want to hear every one of them.
Okay, we also have.
And I will also tell them that you are bored to tears.
No. I'm refreshing. There's a flood coming in. That's all. Sorry. I'm just trying to scroll back to see which ones are the new ones. Give me a second. We have William from Leicester in the UK. We have Sharon from Toronto. We have Valen from Houston. We have Harry from New York. We have Mark from LA. We have Paul from the UK. We have Gary from South Africa, Johannesburg. We have Carl from Sydney. And we have Ivan from Edmonton.
This is a real wow. Like Ashar, you can see how many people are on this. Oh, look at this, the big jump in the number of people who've just come on. But usually they lurk quietly in the background.
Yeah.
This time they're excited. They're really, really excited.
Yes, we also have Alina from France. Hi from Alina. Vishal from Leicester. He's saying hello as well. Lots of love. Pat said, thank you, Raymond. Jenny and I are very excited about the book. Looking forward to talking to you next month. We have Andrew from Johannesburg. Hi, Raymond. Hope you are well. We have Violet from the UK. And that is all the people saying hi for now, Raymond.
Okay, so first of all, I'm so honored to do this. I'm so honored. I'm so happy. And I want to get right into teaching. So you're here on time. It's 10 minutes after, and you've been here for 10 minutes, and we've just broken the ice. I now want to make sure you get rich. And I'm going to teach you how to get rich in a very unusual way. And it's called Masterminding with the Gurus. Masterminding with the Gurus. And I want to tell you a story. I'm sure you've heard of Bob Proctor. He's this amazing man. He just had his 80th birthday this month. He invited me to attend his birthday in Las Vegas, but unfortunately I was giving a speech in Ottawa, and I couldn't do it. But he's an amazing man. He basically started the entire personal growth industry. He's been on stage for 40 years. He's just a wonderful gentleman. And he's a fellow Torontonian. He was the star of the movie The Secret. He's written the book You Were Born Rich. He's just got 40 years of spectacular credentials. So is he a big guy? Yeah. Is he a guru? Yeah. And I want to tell you how my income skyrocketed because I masterminded with a guru. And you're going to be shocked by this story. You may want to take notes because I don't think I've told this story on stage, and if I have, it was maybe 20 years ago. So I've saved it for now, and because you're on this program, you get to hear it. I was called one day early on in my career. I'm 31 years as a speaker. So somewhere around 25, 28 years ago, I got a phone call saying, hello, Mr. Aaron, I'd like to invite you to be on my talk show. And I said, wow, it's fine. And then they called me a few days later and said, Mr. Aaron, we have another guest as well. And because we asked you first, we feel a bit bad because we don't want to bump you, because we've given our word, but we really don't want to turn down the other guy. And I said, well, who's the other guy? And they said, Bob Proctor. I said, Bob Proctor? Of course I'll be on the air with Bob Proctor. I'd be honored to be on the air with Bob Proctor. So fine. So the two of us drive out to this small town together. It was about an hour's drive. So I got to be in Bob's car for an hour, and that was nice. And then we were on the air together, and that was nice. I'd never shared the air with him ever before. Since then, I've been on stage several times with him, but Never, at that time, I was just young in the business. And then when it was over, we're walking out, and I figure, okay, I guess I'm going to drive home. The owner of the radio station said, would you like to go for a little boat ride on my yacht? I said, yeah, yeah, I would. I want to go on your yacht. And Bob Proctor said, yeah, he'd love to as well. So the owner of the yacht actually was up driving the yacht, and Bob and I were in the back. And it's a magnificent yacht. It was really nice. And I was sitting there. I had just done a great radio show. The sun was beating down. I'm in this multi-million-dollar yacht. I'm feeling on top of the world. And this was a long time ago. I was earning about $250,000 a year at that time. And Bob Proctor said to me, how much do you earn now, Raymond? And I felt like I was just going to blow this guy away. And I said, $250,000 a year, Bob. And I was proud. I was so proud. And he didn't say anything for a while. And my guess is that he didn't say anything because he was stunned into silence by how gigantic my income is. But I was wrong. After a pause, he said, how can you double it, Raymond? I said, what? It's $250,000 a year, Bob. He says, yeah, how can you double it? I said, well, I could look at what my best activities are, and I could do more of those. And I could look at what my worst activities are, and I could get rid of those, and I could cut some of my costs, and I just started coming up with ideas. And he never thought about it again. But here's the shocker. A year later, I happened to be on stage with him on someone else's stage. And I said to Bob, do you remember we were on that yacht? Of course he does. Remember I said, how can you double it? And I said to him, wow, did you ever, you ever shock me? And he said, so what's your income now? And I thought about it. And I said, right now I'm earning about $500,000 a year. And he said, so you doubled it. And I said, oh my God, I did. And then my first thought was to say, well, it had nothing to do with you, Bob, but I knew if I'd said that, he would have just laughed. But notice, why did my income double? Now, you could say it's just a coincidence. You can say it's just a fluke. You can say it would have doubled anyways. You can say whatever the heck you want. But what I've noticed is when I mastermind with the gurus, my income goes up. My effort of life goes down. My expenses go down. My ease of access to wealth goes up. Everything improves. And then I decided to try it on somebody else. I had a coaching client, and I just wasn't getting anywhere with her. I told her exactly what to do. She wanted to buy real estate. She'd never bought real estate before. I told her exactly what to do, but she wasn't doing it. And each time I would speak to her, I'd say, so your homework was to do this and this, and you understood it, yes, and you promised to do it, yes. Did you do it? And she said, no. And I said, why? And she told me a reason, and so I tackled that reason, and I cleaned it up for her, and I said, now, can you do it now? She says, yes. Do you promise? Yes. No matter what, yes, I'll do it. Next time I saw her, did you do it? No. And so I realized all of what I was doing wasn't working. I better change tack because I got to make this gal successful. Because when I take on a coaching student, they're successful. Their income goes up. That's my deal. You get to have coaching with me and your income goes up no matter what. And so I use this idea of hanging with the gurus. And I called a friend of mine who is a real estate entrepreneur, and he has this Monday morning breakfast with 4 or 5 other real estate entrepreneurs in the Toronto area. And what they would do is they get together and they say, what have you done this week? What have you done this week? Do you have any problems? Can I help you? How can you help me? And they're not competitors. They just buy real estate and they renovate it and they sell it or they rent it out. So they help each other. So I said, look, do me a favor. This girl does not belong in your league. She's never bought a property, but do me a favor. Just let her attend your Monday morning breakfast for, say, 4 or 5 weeks. They said, okay, we'll do you a favor. She doesn't belong, but we'll do you a favor. So the first meeting, she sits down, everybody introduces, and then they go around saying, well, I promised I would buy one property this week, and I did. It's a large property. I'm going to be renovating over the next few months. The next person says, well, I actually didn't buy a property this week, but I put in 3 offers, and it looks like or 2 of them is going to go through. The next person says, I just got a firm offer to sell a property. I'll make about $750,000 on it. And they're talking about what they did just that week. Then it comes to her, and she said, I didn't do anything in real estate this week. I haven't done anything in real estate in my whole life. And they look at her like, what on earth are you doing in your life, lady? Anyways, next Monday comes, same thing. The guys talk about their big successes. It comes to her, and she says, well, I didn't do anything this week. I mean, most people don't do anything in real estate in any given week. They look at her and roll their eyes a bit. All right. And then she realizes, I better do something. And so she put in a couple offers, and one of them was accepted. And she proudly said at the 3rd meeting, I bought a property. At least I've got a firm offer, and it closes in a month. And why did she get the property? Why? You might say she learned something from the Monday morning breakfast, but they didn't teach anything. You might say she learned from me, and I wish she had, but even if she hadn't implemented any of it. What is the reason? The reason is 3 words. 3 words. Hanging with gurus. Hanging with gurus. And so you need the knowledge. You absolutely need the knowledge. If you buy dumb real estate, you'll lose money. But you also need hanging with gurus. When I hung in this luxurious place called the back seat of a yacht, open to the sun in beautiful lake country of Ontario, I felt so uplifted, and Bob Proctor said just the right things to me, and suddenly my income skyrocketed. And when I sent a woman into exactly that same situation, her income skyrocketed. She suddenly bought real estate for the first time in her life. All of my coaching didn't help. Hanging with the gurus is what helped. And I could go on and on. I have so many examples of hanging with powerful people. I'll give you one more. When I was invited by Jack Canfield, the co-creator of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series of books, 10 years ago today. Do you know that, Ashar? 10 years ago today, Jack Canfield invited me and a total of 30 people to come to his living room in Santa Barbara, California, to create what is now called Transformational Leadership Council. It was 10 years ago today. Isn't that exciting?
That is, wow.
And we decided to create Transformational Leadership Council, and we decided to have 2 meetings every year, about a week long, in exotic places in the world. And because this is our 10th anniversary, we have meetings every July and every January. We've decided to do something even more exotic than usual, and that is going to Croatia for a week. And Ashar, as you know, in a couple days, I'm going to Croatia for a week. And in fact, once we're there, instead of coming back, we're hopping on a private, small, like a mini cruise liner, just for TLC. We chartered the whole boat. We're going to just cruise around the Adriatic and the Mediterranean just to have some fun with these wonderful people. But here's the story. When I first was there 10 years ago, I very proudly said, I've written 5 books. And the other, Jack Canfield said, yes, well, I've written 177. And Dr. John Gray said, I've written 23. And then we averaged the people in the room, the average was 8. The average of the number of people, the average of the number of books that people had written was 8. Of course, it was pulled up by the overachiever Jack Canfield. But nevertheless, I said to myself, gee, I thought I was big stuff with 5. And within a couple years, I'd published 3 more books to get up to 8. Now I have a question for you, Ashar. Why did I go from 5 to 8? Why didn't I go from 5 to 6? Why didn't I go from 5 to 11? Why did I go from 5 to 8? In fact, I'm still at 8. This is 10 years later. Why?
Because of the people you were spending time with.
The average was 8. And so I had to get up to the average. Now, did I do it consciously? No. I didn't say, oh my gosh, I got to publish 3 more books. I don't care even if they don't sell well. I just got to get 3 more. No. I didn't do that on purpose. I got invited by the for Dummies Empire to write a branding book, Branding Small Business for Dummies, I didn't say, oh, great, there's one, I got two to go. No, I was just doing my life, and without realizing it, I produced 3 more books. But I produced 3 more books because that's the average in TLC. My female client bought a property because she was amongst people who were buying real estate. My income doubled because Bob Proctor said, how can you double it? When you are in a mastermind with gurus, when you're in the presence of gurus, when you are with people who are doing far better than you in the areas that you want to do well in, you just darn well improve. Have you had that experience in your life, Ashar?
I have, Raymond. I have.
Do you have I apologize to put you on the spot,
Yeah.
but do you have an example that you can think of at the moment, or you don't?
If I wasn't working at the Raymond Air Group, I wouldn't have written a book. I wouldn't be speaking on stage. I wouldn't have gotten a standing ovation. That's all because I'm around a bunch of authors. A lot of our clients are authors. And yeah, so that's a specific example right there.
It is, and by the way, I want you to know something.
Yeah.
You know that I get standing ovations a lot.
Right, right.
I've given over 5,000 speeches, and my clients love me, and so a standing ovation, although it's always wonderful, is not an uncommon thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Notice, when you said that, because you know that I get a lot of them, you said, oh yeah, I got a standing ovation. Like, Ashar, do you get that you adapted to being in my environment and said standing ovation with less energy than you normally would have? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. Like it's normal, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You said it as if it's normal.
Right. It's not.
But if you were with some of the guys that you graduated with from university,
Yeah.
and you said, guess what, guys? A couple months ago, I gave my first speech ever. I got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
They would go, whoa, rounds for everybody. Wow. They'd go berserk. But that's because their experience with standing ovations is somewhere around 0.
Right.
My experience is high, and so you just take it for granted. Oh yeah, I gave a speech, got a standing ovation. You said it as if it was matter of fact, even though you know darn well it's amazing. And so you rise to the level. Like now in your next speech, you're going to feel bad if you don't get a standing ovation, but yet standing ovation is like spectacular. So Ashar, on the spur of the moment, you've actually come up with a brilliant example.
Yeah.
I think you are a born professional speaker. I do.
Yeah, I posted the videos of me speaking on Facebook, and I've gotten a lot of compliments from all of my friends from as far back as university and high school that were surprised.
Oh yeah. And also, I think you should use this to renegotiate with Sophia. I think you should get the top floor, not the basement.
Maybe I can she can throw in a landing or something.
Maybe she should give you an extra lamp or something nice. Carpeting. So you've had experiences, I've had experience, my coaching clients had experience. It's really powerful. And I want my clients to have that experience. I want my clients to hang with gurus. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down the rules. Write down the rules of how to hang with gurus, because there's 3 rules. Number 1, the person actually has to be a guru, has to be a master, has to have real wisdom. Because when I coach people, sometimes in the first few minutes of my very first session, I'll say, how can I most help you? And they'll say, well, I'm opening this store right now to do this and this and this. And I'll ask them a question. I'll say, oh, God, no, don't do that. And in the first 3 minutes, I've saved them maybe $100,000. I've saved them a business failure. I've saved them a bankruptcy. I've saved them getting sued. And that's like in the first few minutes, because when they hang with me and I see things they don't see, I can't believe how much I help them. They can't even believe it. So number 1, it must be a true master. It can't be someone who's just doing well. It can't be someone who's okay, but they've agreed to take you under their wing a little bit. No, it can't be that. It's got to be a real master. And don't get tricked. There are people on stage who don't have high integrity. I hate to say it because it's my own industry, but there are people on stage who don't have high integrity, and Ashar, you and I know who they are.
Right.
We do our best to protect our own clients from them, but I can't. If one of my fellow speakers, who I know has low integrity, is giving a speech in my hometown, and my clients have the wisdom to contact me and say, should I go? I can say, no, you might want to miss this one. But if they just go on their own and sign up and buy something that turns out to be bad, and then call me and say, what can I do? I say, well, you should have called me in the first place. So you have to hang with real gurus, people who really are honest, who really tell the truth. And by the way, you can tell the truth and still be dishonest. I know that sounds weird. You can tell the truth and still be dishonest. And many of my speaker friends do that. And it sounds like this. Maybe they bought a large amount of real estate 20 years ago, and it went up a lot, and they made $1 million. So here they are 20 years later, they're still giving a speech on how to make $1 million in a few months. But meanwhile, that was a technique that worked 20 years ago, before the internet, for gosh sakes, and it doesn't work today, but it sounds great. So it's true, but it's dishonest. They really did make that much money. They really did make that much money in a short period of time, but they couldn't do it again today, but they're implying they could, so people run to the back and buy their stuff and don't get any value. So it must be real live gurus actually doing the work right now. That's the first criterion. The second criterion, it has to be really powerful content. And so an example would be, if I sat down with Donald Trump, who absolutely is a guru, his company is the most successful private company on the planet. Like, they're just a private company. They haven't gone public. In fact, it's not just a company, it's a ma and pa operation. It's just a ma and pa operation. It's Donald Trump and his wife and his 3 kids, and they just run it together. It's a ma and pop operation, but they're worth about $8 billion. They own however many acres and how many units, and they've sold however many luxury condos. I mean, it's a gigantic, worldwide, respected enterprise and brand. But just because I'm sitting with him, he may not have any interest in me. He might be more interested in a pretty girl across the hall. He might be more interested in doing a deal, and so he's yakking and yakking with his son Eric and paying me no attention, in which case I wouldn't be getting any content. So you don't just have to be with a great guru, you have to actually be getting great content. That's really important. And finally, and this is often ignored, it must be in an uplifting environment. It absolutely must be in an uplifting environment. And you can imagine if you were walking in a dark night in a dark neighborhood, and there's graffiti on the walls, and there's litter and junk in the street, and there's a dog pooping beside you, and you can hear people screaming and sirens of police cars wailing in the background. This is not the environment to come up with a great idea to help people and make a lot of money for yourself and for them. That's a place where you might die or you want to get out of as soon as you can. But when you're in an uplifting environment, it makes you feel so spectacular. It makes you feel so special. It uplifts my spirit when I'm in such a wonderful environment. And when I'm with a guru that I really respect, and the guru really likes me and is teaching me, or at least talking with me about powerful stuff, my income just goes up. And Ashar, that's why I go to Transformational Leadership Council, TLC. That's why I go to TLC 1 week, twice a year, because just yakking with Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, and Dr. John Gray, and Stephen M. R. Covey, and all these world-famous people, just yakking with them, it's just so inspiring. My income goes up and up and up, but it goes up effortlessly. It's not as if they say, Raymond, work harder. They don't actually tell me anything to do. They don't actually teach anything. But when someone asks them a question, I hear how they answer it, and then reciprocally, because they view me as a guru also, someone will ask me a question and I'll answer, and they'll say, wow, I never thought about that. So I remember Jack Canfield acknowledges me every time he sees me. About 4 years ago, he said, you know, I just can't figure out why all the money I make requires me to sit on an airplane and fly somewhere and make a speech. I just don't make any other money except when I fly somewhere and give a speech. And so I said to him, well, what does your director of marketing have to say about it? He looks at me with a blank stare and says, director of marketing? I don't have a director of marketing. I said, well, that's why you don't have any marketing. And he looked at me like, oh my God, like of course. So he asked how to get a director of marketing, and he asked exactly what the position should look like and who he should hire. And he immediately hired a wonderful lady, a really wonderful lady. Her name is Lisa. And now he has money coming in from lots and lots of sources. He's helping lots and lots of more people. And a smaller and smaller percent of his total annual income comes from his hopping on an airplane. And so he hung with me because I'm a guru in my area, he's a guru in his area, and when you hang with big people like that, you just get rich. And Ashar, we've created something for our clients at an unbelievably low tuition, like talking $97, where they can hang with gigantic gurus. And I wonder if I should just mention that now. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to interrupt the flow. Why don't we hold a tiny little survey right now? Why don't you just
as people have been asking already, they've been saying, I still don't know how to make the first step to be with gurus. How can I find out people in my city to begin with? And then I have another one. How do you recommend acquiring a top quality guru to hang out with? So we have a few people already asking, but yeah, let's take a poll. Definitely.
Well, I think we've already taken a poll.
Okay.
We know how many people are on the line. There's a lot of people on the line. If 4 or 5 people have already volunteered and said, oh my gosh, I want to do it, then that means that hundreds of others also want to do it. They just didn't take up the fingers to text me a message. So what do you think? Should I just take it from them that there's a desire, or should we do a little survey? What do you say?
I think we can take it from them.
Okay. So I've created something, and it's a huge, huge, exciting thing, and it's called Create Your Own Economy. It's 3 days of some of the most wonderful gurus in the world, just absolutely wonderful gurus in the world. And we're all getting together in September as an unbelievably special occasion. And Ashar, do you have the dates? I think it's September 12th, 13th, 14th.
It is September 12th to 14th, and there is actually a link on this page, on the video page they're watching right now. They can click on the link.
What is the link called?
The link is called, one second.
Is it called Create Your Own Economy?
Buy tickets for Create Your Own Economy.
Okay, buy tickets for Create Your Own Economy. So let me just tell you, there is nowhere else on the planet that you're going to get to schmooze with really, really big people for $97. Typically, it'll cost you tens of thousands of dollars. And I have paid way more than tens of thousands of dollars. And Ashar, you know that.
Yes.
You've been with me for 10 years, and you see me constantly. Sometimes when I hop on an airplane, it's to teach other people, but sometimes when I hop on an airplane, it's to learn from other people or schmooze with other huge big shots. And so I do it constantly. I invest very, very heavily in myself, and I don't stop. My clients might say, well, you're so wealthy, it doesn't matter to you. You know what? Wealthy people still watch their money. Wealthy people are still prudent. Only very foolish wealthy people don't care about money. I think that's a misconception. Wealthy people understand how money works and are very careful with money. They don't just waste money just because they have it. So if you have a lot of food in your fridge, you don't waste it. It doesn't make sense. Just because you have a lot of something doesn't mean you waste it. So I've spent tens of thousands of dollars to hang with gurus, mastermind with gurus, hobnob with gurus, and I want my clients to have that benefit.
And we're spending a lot of money to bring these teachers that Create Your Own Economy as well.
Oh my gosh, that's a really good point. I'm spending the money. I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars. The budget is tens and tens of thousands of dollars to bring and host this amazing event, and my clients can have it for a song, just for a song. So The biggest one we have so far, that's not true. The biggest one we're allowed to announce so far is Bob Proctor himself, the guy who doubled my income in 1 year. In fact, I just realized it, Ashar.
Yeah.
Shortly after that yacht ride, I wrote the book Double Your Income Doing What You Love.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Not only did he double my income, but he entitled my next book. And I didn't realize either of those were happening. Wow.
Wow.
That is a wow. So I've also got a track genius. This guy has a world record. In fact, he has 2 world records in track, one of the fastest men that ever lived. He's got a gold medal from the British Commonwealth Games. He's got a gold medal from the Pan Am Games. And he's got a gold medal from the Olympics. And though you may not be that interested in it, let me tell you 2 more things. Number 1, the very same rules he used to become such a master in track, he has now converted over to business and is making a fortune in business. I'll just tell you his fitness trainer business. His gold medal in the Olympics was about 20 years ago. So that doesn't have that much cachet any longer. You can hire really good fitness instructors for $40 to $60 an hour. He charges $500 an hour, and his plate is full. He can't take any more. At $500 an hour, Ashar, can you imagine that?
That's
$500 an hour.
Wow.
Now there's 2,000 hours in a year of work, like 40 hours a week times 50 weeks is 2,000 hours. If you multiply 2,000 hours by $500, it comes to $1 million a year. I'm not saying he earns $1 million a year in his fitness program. I'm just saying $500 an hour is the equivalent of $1 million a year. $1 million a year. He's converted his wisdom in track to how to make money in business, not just in his fitness business, in his other non-fitness businesses, in everything. And not only will he be there teaching you how to use his wisdom to make money in whatever business you're in, but he's also going to be bringing, I don't think you know this, Ashar, he's going to be bringing his gold medal to the event so that my attendees can get their photograph wearing his gold medal.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And there's another lady, I got to tell you this story. This is so much fun. And this is a perfect example of hanging with gurus. This little girl, she was, I think, 9 years old. She picks up an issue by mistake of Fortune magazine, and she starts reading it. And she likes it. Like, what 9-year-old girl likes reading Fortune magazine? So she picks up, she was in the library, and she reads it. Then she reads Fortune magazine, and then she starts reading the Wall Street Journal. And she starts noticing that if you follow certain rules, you can buy stocks that are going to go up. And she just noticed that she was able to tell which were good stocks and which were bad stocks. And after a while, she said, "Yeah, I think I should start trading stocks." But of course, she's just like 11 or 12 by then. And she doesn't have the right to open up a stock brokerage account. So she goes to her dad with a stock brokerage form, like to open an account. And she says to him, "Dad, we've got this module at school where we're going to pretend to trade stocks. Can you just approve this?" So the dad signs it. She takes it straight to the stock brokerage firm, opens up an account, and starts trading. She puts in her allowance, Ashar. Her allowance. She's like 11 by now. She puts in her allowance, and she trades stocks, and they're going up, and they're going up, and they're going up. And she decides not to tell her parents, not to tell her teachers, not to tell her friends, because she doesn't want them to think she's a nerd. So meanwhile, fast forward age 16, the teacher, her math teacher, announces that they have to do a 2-week module on investing, and the teacher says, "I'm really embarrassed because I've never invested anything. In fact, I'm in debt, and so I feel fraudulent to pretend to teach you about investing. Is there anyone in the class that knows anything about investing?" So little Leslie, pretty little blonde Leslie, stands up And she goes to the blackboard, she takes the chalk, and she says, here are my 6 rules for investing. Here's the 5 criteria that I use to buy stocks. Here are the 3 ways that I decide when it's time to sell a stock. And she just filled the entire board with all her rules. Well, the teacher just couldn't believe it, ran to the principal's office. The principal comes running back, sees the chalkboard filled with all this stuff that even he doesn't understand. He goes back to his office, and he's sitting there like dazed. And sure enough, this was Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Sure enough, he's sitting there in his office, and he gets a phone call from the Calgary Herald newspaper saying, we're doing a human interest story. We'd like to know if there's any student in your school that's doing something interesting. He says, yeah, there is. Come down right now. And so a photographer and a journalist race down to the high school, and they interview her in the classroom with all the writing on the board. And the next day, a front page article, like the entire front page, with a gorgeous picture of her, an amazing article about her ability to invest, and photographs of the chalkboard. And no one knew. Her friends didn't know, the teachers didn't know, her parents didn't know until the article appeared in the newspaper, and all the friends called the parents, say, whoa, your kid's a genius. They didn't know anything about it. But then you know this story. Clients don't know yet. Oprah Winfrey called her the next day.
Wow.
Oprah Winfrey called her the next day and said, come to Chicago. She said, I'm just a kid. Can my mother call? Can my mother come? And Oprah said, yeah, I'll spring for both your parents. And so both parents came. Little Leslie walks up on stage, and Oprah says, so you are an investor genius. And little Leslie says, well, yes, I've been doing well. And Oprah says, how much money have you made? Well, the Calgary Herald newspaper didn't ask her that. And she'd never told anybody how much she made. And she was quite hesitant. And I don't remember the answer, but I think it was $800,000. The kid's 16 years old. The camera zoomed in on the parents. You should have seen the parents' jaws disconnected and fell to the carpet. They had no idea. Oprah was blown away. Nobody knew. This little kid, and she's just been investing her allowance and her Christmas money, and that's all. Well, she's coming. Little Leslie, we're flying her in, and you're going to be able to hobnob with her. And she wrote a book called Rich by 30. And then she turned 30, and she says, oops, better write another book. So she wrote Rich by 40. And she still has the flavor of a cute little teenage girl, although she's like this genius investor. And you're going to be able to hobnob with her. You're going to be able to get pictures with her. I mean, I'm just so amazed. And we're having so many powerful people. I can't mention them all, but we've got gurus coming from maybe 3 continents, and it's going to be amazing. It's 3 solid days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the early bird pricing is still on. So you can pay $500 at the general admission level and $1,000 at the VIP level if you wish. $500 general admission, $1,000 VIP. In fact, I think the VIP should be $1,500. But there's an early bird special on now that's so inexpensive, it's crazy. It's only $97 for general admission and only $197 for VIP. That's crazy. That should be $1,500. You're getting like 90% discount. And what do you get? Well, first of all, what do you get at general admission? You get all 3 days of education. You get to experience all these speakers. You get to chat with them. If you see them in the foyer, they're going to be there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You also get to celebrate something. You get to celebrate my birthday. And it's not just any old birthday, although it is an old birthday. You get to celebrate my 70th birthday. My 70th birthday, yes, 70th birthday. And wait till you hear this. You're also going to be celebrating the great Bob Proctor's 80th birthday. So Ashar, I don't know if there's any baker in Canada that can produce a cake for 150 candles, but that's my intent. A cake with 150 candles, oh my gosh. So you're going to share my
Oh, that'll be
cake.
something to
We're going to
see.
have
Wow.
fun. You're going to chat with me, some of the other gurus, and that's all at the general admission level. At the VIP level, which is $1,500 or $1,000, I don't know what it's going to go up to, but it should be $1,500. The early bird special is only $197, which is crazy. In addition to all of the general admission and the cake and the celebration and everything, you also get front row seating. You get early admission to the room. You get concierge registration, so there's no lineups. And the biggest thing is you get an individual one-on-one photograph with each one of the superstars. An individual photograph with Leslie. An individual photograph with the Canadian track hero. By the way, he was the very first person to be inducted into the Canadian Track Hall of Fame. Isn't that amazing? The first ever. I'm so excited. Wait till you hear this guy. Wait till you get your photograph with his gold medal around your neck. Wait till you get your photograph with Bob Proctor. In fact, I'm going to bring a little stool for my photograph with Bob Proctor. You didn't laugh at that, Ashar? Oh, Ashar, your face is frozen. Ashar, come back to me. Ashar, hold on. Everybody, give me a moment. I've got to tell Ashar that his face is frozen. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Your face is frozen. Oh, my screen froze too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What are we going to do, Ashar? What are we going to do? Ashar?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. It just everything froze for a second.
Did we lose our clients?
Oh, everyone's still here.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so grateful. I apologize for Ashar's mistake.
Apology accepted.
Bast, aren't you in charge of the technology of this event?
I am, but Google is the owner.
Get out of here, Google.
I'm
You're
not
in
sure.
charge of technology. The technological error.
Okay.
I think you screwed up. That's what I think. And you're blaming Google?
Yeah, of course.
You're worth $1 million. Google's worth $100 billion. So, what was the last thing you heard me say?
The last thing I heard you say was you're celebrating Bob Proctor's 80th birthday as well. And you were very excited. Oh, we were talking about the cake and the 150 candles.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to find one in Toronto.
Right. So I'm not exactly sure what you missed, my dear client, but you're going to get your photograph with a gold medal around your neck standing beside the very first Canadian to ever be inducted into the Canadian Track Hall of Fame. You're going to get your photograph with a teenage millionaire, or at least she was a millionaire when she was a teenager, and she was on Oprah, for gosh sakes. And you're going to get your photograph with the genius Bob Proctor at the VIP level, and it should be $1,000 to $1,500, but I'm offering it at like a 90% discount at only $197 right now. And you can buy as many tickets as you wish. In fact, the price is going to go up soon. You might want to buy several tickets and sell them on eBay. Yeah. But all you do is to click on that link, and whoa, I can see people are clicking. That's good. That's good. So please come, and I'm also going to be giving away gifts and giving away books. There's going to be lots. It's going to be quite a huge celebration, and there'll be amazing people on stage. You'll be learning so much, but you'll also be hanging with gurus. You'll be watching them off stage. You'll be watching them on stage. It won't just be a speech and then they go away. You'll be hanging with them more than just a normal event. This is really, really special. Very, very special. So Ashar, did you want to say something about create your own economy?
Yeah, a lot of people are the early bird discounts are not going to be held for much longer. That's the first thing. The second thing is these tickets will not be free in any way, shape, or form. So if anyone's waiting for these tickets to go free, they're not, because we're spending a lot of money on these speakers, and they're not going to be free. So if you're sitting on the fence thinking or expecting at some time that they're going to be free, it's not happening. So you might as well get them now before the prices go up. Just wanted to make that clear.
Free?
Yeah.
You nuts? Free? This costs a fortune. Our
Yeah.
budget for speakers is way into the tens of thousands of dollars. Oh my gosh. And the huge venue, oh, it's going to be very, very exciting. And the very first time we did create your own economy, my guest speaker was the Prime Minister of Canada. That was huge. That was really huge. And we've got some other really gigantic guest speakers that we've invited, and some of them said yes, some of them are still thinking about it, but until they sign the speaker contract, I'm not allowed to mention their name. And so we've got some big, big, big class acts coming, some really, really, you're going to just love it. It's going to be so much fun. And you'll be able to hang with the gurus. Now, what I'd like to do is open it up for questions on hanging with gurus. So if you have any questions on the concept of hanging with gurus, please give me your name and the city, and then your question about hanging with gurus. Please focus on hanging with gurus, because it's the thing that I'm really focusing on now. I'm hanging with gurus in my own life. I want you to hang with me. I want you to hang with the gurus that I bring in, because I've noticed that you already know a lot of stuff. You know stuff. There's no shortage of stuff. If you want to know stuff these days, my gosh, Siri will tell you anything you need to know if you have an iPhone. Have you ever asked Siri funny questions?
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, I have, when I first got my iPhone, or when
Yeah.
Siri first came out.
Yeah. Siri, where were you born? See what she says.
Like it says on the box, I was designed by Apple in California.
Well,
She
aren't
was
you?
born in China.
She said she was designed by Apple in California. That's the best she can do. Siri, do you help everybody or just me?
I can't answer that.
I asked her a question she can't answer. Are you better than Google, or is Google better than you?
I'm pretty loyal to Apple, Master. It's just how I'm made.
She calls me Master. Did you notice that?
That was funny. Yeah.
It was. She calls me Master. It's like weird. It's like I'm a genie coming out of a bottle. I think she asked me one day if what she wants me to call her, and I can't remember. And we laughed about it, and I can't remember. But then she settled on Master, and she calls me Master. So I think you have to call me Master too. Excuse me, why are you laughing? I'm going to ask you.
I'm gonna set Siri to call. I'm gonna set that as my name in app and the thing as well. I'm gonna call it.
Siri, does Ashar have to call me Master? See what she says.
Let me check that. Okay, I found this on the web.
Oh, she's going to Google. I thought she didn't like Google. But she doesn't know the answer. Okay, so do we have some questions, Ashar?
Yeah, we actually have a comment from one of the clients. They said we didn't miss anything because we never lost Raymond's voice or view. So that's good. They lost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we just lost Ashar.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big loss. We don't want to lose Ashar.
Okay, we have a question from Dwayne in Toronto. During the time we get to take pictures with the speakers, is it a one-on-one picture or a group picture? I would hope it would be one-on-one picture. Am I correct?
One-on-one, my friend. Group pictures are worthless. One-on-one. Didn't you hear me say you personally will be wearing the gold medal when you take a picture? Well, how can 100 people wear a gold medal? It doesn't make any sense. Not at the same time. You personally, one head will stand beside a big guru's head. Two heads in the room, one picture snaps. One on onesie. That's why people want the VIP, and that's why the price is actually way too low. I think we might actually go to $2,000.
Okay, we have Paul saying, making a comment from Novi in Michigan saying, yes, I want to come too. And that is all the questions we have right now regarding create your own economy.
Okay, well, Michigan is close by. You can drive in or you can fly in. And if you're flying, I recommend you fly. Do we have a venue yet for it, Ashar? Do you know
Don't we're in negotiations because some of the venues couldn't accommodate the large size, so we're trying to get a bigger venue right now. So we're gonna have that nailed down by the end of this week.
Okay, but don't worry about it. We'll have a wonderful venue for you, and it'll be uplifting.
Yes.
Because maybe there's 3 rules: hang with gurus, get great content, and be in an uplifting situation. It'll be a beautiful, beautiful hotel or one of the highest quality convention centers.
We have 2 more questions that came in, Raymond.
Okay, good.
Paul from Michigan. Do the gurus care if we use the pictures with them to promote our own books, events, like I use my pictures with you, Raymond?
Okay, here's the rule. This is the rule not just for create your own economy, but for any way that you use a photograph with a big guru. Don't abuse the photograph. Like, if you have a photograph with me or with Bob Proctor, don't say this photograph proves that Bob Proctor approves of my product. Like, he doesn't even know your product. So don't pretend to your audience that just because you have a photograph with me or Bob Proctor or some other guru, that therefore he's implicitly endorsing you. It's really improper to do that. And by the way, we've invited Oprah to join Transformational Leadership Council, and one of the rules that she sent us is that anybody can take pictures of her or with her and us, but we're not allowed to use the picture anywhere, no matter what. We can't put it on Facebook, Twitter, we can't put it on our website, we can't even use it, because she says that her image is so well known and respected that just putting a picture of, let's say, Raymond and Oprah together already implies that she endorses me. And so some big gurus are very, very careful. The ones that I invite here allow you to use their picture on Facebook and Twitter on your website, but tell the truth. Don't pretend that they automatically endorse your product if that's not true. But yes, you can. The short answer is yes. You get an individual picture and you can put it on social media or your website. Yes.
And then Joe from Vancouver's question is, how can I get introduced to my gurus?
Who are his gurus?
I guess you would be one of them since he's on here. But aside from that, I'm not sure. He doesn't mention.
Well, I am hosting a Vancouver Tycoon Workshop. Do you have the dates of that, Ashar?
I do. 1 second.
Okay, so my friend from Vancouver, just hold on a second. I've got a weekend workshop coming up in the fall in Vancouver. We're looking it up for you right now. Maybe I can do it here as well. Okay, hang tight. We're just looking for Vancouver. Vancouver. This is probably boring to everybody.
You continue, Raymond. I'll find it.
Okay, good.
It's September 20th and 21st. We just confirmed it.
September 20 and 21st. Okay, good. Thank you. September 20 and 21. And how do you join? Probably the easiest thing is to email my executive assistant. Oh, email Liz. Email Liz, L-I-Z, and if you're American, L-I-Z, at aaron.com, A-A-R-O-N. She's a good person on my staff to email. Just email her and say, I want to go to the Vancouver workshop. And the September dates again are?
20th and 21st.
20th and 21st. There's no charge. 20th and 21st. and just email Liz and say you'd like a certain number of tickets, and she'll take care of you. Okay, so we're asking for questions about hanging with gurus. Hanging with gurus. So the question from Vancouver was, how do I get to hang with my own gurus? Well, one way is I'm going to be in Vancouver. You can hang with me, and I may bring some special guests there. But the other way is if there's a particular person in your life that you want to hang with, getting something from them doesn't do anything for them. You've got to give them something. You need to be of value to them. You need to serve them. You need to have something on your plate. Like, people come up to me all the time and they say just the stupidest things. They say, listen, you have everything, I have nothing, so make me a millionaire, and as soon as I'm a millionaire, I'll give you half of it. And that's like so goofy, because if I could make them a millionaire, I'd make myself a million and keep it all. Like, it doesn't make any sense. People just are goofy. So this guy is saying to me, I will do nothing, you will do everything, and you, Raymond, will get nothing or half of it, and I'll get everything. Like, it's crazy. If he'd come to me and said, I have something that your daughters would love. If he came to me and said, I know something that would make your wife totally love you even more. If he said, I know how you can have even more magnificent vacations. In other words, if he gave me something, I don't mean money, if he gave me something that helped me in some way, I'd say, oh my gosh, how can I help you? But if there's a big person that you want to connect with, and there's nothing at all that you can offer them in any way, then they won't have any interest in you. Because it has to be a fair exchange. If you say to me, Raymond, I know how your wife will just be madly in love with you even more. And I say, wow, and if you could do that for me, I would do anything for you. And they say, well, I would like to hang with you for a day. I say, great, come and hang with me for a day. So when I get something, I'm happy to give something. It doesn't have to be money. If you're broke and they're rich, then of course it's not money. But you've got to, the way you hang with guru is to find something that they want that you have, or something great you can do for them. And if you can't, you rely on people like me to do it for you, where I attract these big names, and for pennies, you can come. In fact, I don't even think I should have kept the VIP at only $197 even for this, because it's a 90% discount. It's crazy. Anyways, at least for this Google Hangout, I'm keeping the tuition for this. I'm keeping the tuition. But rely on me. Fly from Vancouver to Toronto. It's not that expensive. The worst, if you just buy retail in the last day, is maybe $1,000 return. But if you're really clever, you can get it for as little as $199 for return flight if you're willing to fly at any time. And just come to Toronto and enjoy your life and hang with some gurus and enjoy it. Because man, my income doubled. I went up from $250,000 to $500,000 because of one sentence from Bob Proctor. How can you double it? He said 5 words to me, and my income has never been as low as $250,000 since then, since that day, since that yacht ride. It's never been that little. I've had some bad years, but it's never been as bad, anywhere near as bad as that. And my average has been way the heck over that. So 5 words from Bob had an extra, I don't know, $500,000 or $1 million a year for 30 years. 5 words from Bob Proctor has made me an extra $500,000 or an extra $500,000 or $1 million a year every year for 30 years. Was it worth those 5 words? Was it worth hanging with Bob Proctor? Absolutely. So get to it. That's what I say. Get to it.
And we're already 50% sold out. So
really? Okay.
50% sold out.
Well, then for sure we got to get rid of the early bird special soon.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Phil from Luton in the UK. If we have a picture with you, I'm one of your 10 to 10 Platinum members. Can I say this is a photo of my mentor and me on my Facebook?
Absolutely, you can say that. But if you're a fitness instructor, you can't say, Raymond says I'm the greatest fitness instructor in the UK. Because it's not true. Sorry, you might be, but it's not true that I said that. So yes, you can say, here is Raymond and me together. He's my guru. He's a New York Times top 10 best-selling author. He wrote 10 books. He teaches around the world, and he's my friend and mentor. Absolutely. You can absolutely say that. Use me to up your brand as much as you can.
Okay, the next question is, sorry, I'm just scrolling right now. Do you want to answer? That's the last question about, actually, let me refresh. Yeah, that's the last question about hanging with gurus. Do we want to cover some of the other questions we have now?
Okay, let's do that, and then we'll come back to it later because I got another surprise for everybody.
Okay, perfect. Yona from London, her question is, I'm setting myself up as a coach. What do you recommend as a first step? Do you recommend that I get a coaching certification? What do you advise, please?
When you say Yona, is it spelled Jonna?
Yeah, Yona.
Okay, I know who this is. Okay, here's my comment. Get a coaching certificate if you feel that you need it, if you feel that you're not knowledgeable enough. But otherwise, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I've been coaching for 31 years, and I don't remember anyone ever asking me what certification I have. If 2 or 3 people have asked over 31 years, what I probably said to them is, I'm a physicist. And they look at me and say, what? What the hell has that got to do with anything? And I say, nothing. I don't have any certification. I'm certified as a physicist, if you want to know. And they get confused. They say, what do I care? I say, you don't care. Because really my certification is that if I take you on, I'll make you rich. That's my credentials. And so, Jonah, you don't, if your purpose is learning, I strongly endorse learning. If your purpose is getting clients, it's not going to help you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Well, let me prove it to you. Does Donald Trump have some certification in real estate? You don't know. You don't care. Does Tony Robbins have a certification in coaching? You don't know. And you don't care. All you care is that if they help you, you'll get richer, or you'll get better, or healthier, or whatever.
Okay. The next question.
And Jonah is in UK. Do we have our next London date yet? I don't think that's finalized yet.
No, it's not finalized yet. I think
it'll be first quarter of next year.
First quarter of next year, yeah.
So it won't be this year.
It won't be this year, no.
Okay. Okay.
And Yona's next question is, what is your advice on hiring staff?
Wow. Well, my best advice is don't pay them. And I used to pay Ashar. I paid him for 10 years. I don't pay him any longer. And I don't pay the president of the company, the director of events. I don't pay my controllers. I don't pay anybody any longer. Well, there's a few people that I pay, but mostly I don't. And we switched everybody from salary to what's called pay on production, P-O-P. I call it POP, pay on production. And it's based on the concept of fair exchange. And salary does not create fair exchange. Because if Ashar comes into the office one day and he's feeling low and his best friend's in the hospital and Sophia is crying because of something in her life, then he does a mediocre to bad job that day, he gets his salary. If the next day he comes in all refreshed and comes up with a dazzling idea that makes the company $1 million profit that month, he still gets his salary, no more, no less. And so if he does a bad job, he gets overpaid. In other words, he gets more money than he deserves when he's bad, and he gets less money than he deserves when he's good. So when he's bad, we reward him, and when he's good, we punish him. Well, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Talk to any psychologist and say, Do you like an idea of punishing people when they're good and rewarding them when they're bad? The psychologist would say, are you nuts? That's ridiculous. But that's what salary is. That's exactly what salary is. So Ashar's base is 0. After 10 years of being quite well paid, otherwise, well, I don't want to say he wouldn't have stayed. I really like him and I'm glad he stayed. But he likes working with me and he learns a lot from me and we're buds and we help each other. And he's earned a good salary. I mean, he has a distinguished position, he has lots of knowledge, and he earns well. And now his base is 0. And he gets a percent of the revenue of what he generates. He gets a percent of what he touches, of the revenue that's related to what he does. So if his division makes no money, then his salary for that month is
0.
0. Yeah, he just figured that out. Thankfully, we've already signed the agreement. Yeah, but that's legitimate. If he does nothing, ruins the whole division, and drags the company's income down to 0, then he deserves 0. And if he comes up with a genius brainwave, if he talks to a friend, comes up with a giant idea, and doubles the profit that comes in through his division, then what happens to your salary, Ashar?
Goes through the roof.
Yeah, it does. It goes up by more than double. And so that's correct, right? It goes up by more than double if you double the profit of the company, of what you do. So now when Ashar is bad, he is punished, and when he's good, he's rewarded. But with salary, when he's bad, he's rewarded, and when he's good, he's punished. And so POP, pay on production, is far better than salary. And it was a bit of a struggle to convert my longest standing employees and my highest income employees to a base of 0, but I did it because they saw the upside. And of course, the first thing they saw, because they're employees, is they feared the downside. What if I earn $1 less than last month? Well, then don't let that happen. So that's my best advice to you. Don't pay your employees. Put them pay on production. Not commission. They're not, like, Ashar is not a commission salesman. And Wendy is the director of my events. She's not a salesman. And Mickey is my controller. Well, he obviously isn't a salesman. He's a controller. But they're responsible for certain revenue happening, and when that revenue happens, they get a share of it, and when that revenue goes down, they get a share of a lower amount, and the revenue goes up, they get a share of a higher amount. Now, commission salesmen get a commission on what they sell. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about they're getting a share of the revenue that they're responsible for. And that's my answer for you, Jonah, and it's a powerful study. And if you want to talk about it, fly to Toronto for Create Your Own Economy, and let's talk. Or wait till the first quarter of 2015 and let's talk when I'm in London.
Okay, we have James from Mississauga. He said, I have an idea for a book, How to Retire in 6 Months with Real Estate. I'm thinking the book will help me actually attract the joint venture partners necessary to achieve the stated title. I'm not fond of the idea of fake it till you make it. What do you think about this approach?
I think that you won't get any real investor to invest in a book with that title. No real person will believe that you can retire in 6 months with real estate. Wannabes will be excited by it. People who know nothing will be excited about it. Completely broke people who know nothing will be excited about it. But real people, people who actually have money to invest, will not be excited. They'll just pass that book by. Because people who know real estate know that you don't get so wealthy in 6 months that you can retire. That's just not what real estate does. So do I like that title? No, I don't like that title. Will it attract the right kind of people? No, it'll attract exactly the wrong type of people. It'll attract broke people. And broke people can't invest.
Okay,
Hold on a second. Was I too harsh with him?
You know what? No, you got to give him the real good. So that's fine, I think, in my opinion. You don't want
Yeah,
to.
I didn't ask you if I gave him accurate advice.
Right.
I asked if I was too harsh. You know what? You know what? I need the answer to this because I'm very clear in my answers, but I may not be very social. So what I would like, I want every. Hold on one second. I want you to do a survey right now. I want you to type in too harsh or good on you. Too harsh or good on you. Too harsh or good on you. And while you're doing that, the boss is calling. Hi, sweetheart. I'm on a Google Hangout with thousands of people around the world in about 14 countries. This is not a good time to ask a deep question. No. I'll call you later. Bye, love. So, do we have some responses coming in?
There's about a 20-second delay on on. Actually, James responded. It was his question. He said, "No, that was fine."
Oh! Well, if the guy I was too harsh to thinks I'm fine, it's okay.
Yep.
That was a joke. That was a joke, Ashar. Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
Perfect, exactly.
Okay, so we have Jonah's asking her question, and she's just re-asking her question. I don't think she feels it was answered correctly. And she said, "I'm setting myself up as a coach. What are your recommended first steps?" So she wants to know, what do you recommend as first steps?
Well, you need to brand yourself by writing a book. She's already written a book on cosmetics. I think it's actually called The Book on Cosmetics. It's really very pretty, very feminine book. It's a really nice book. So that's what I recommend, Jonah, is that you brand yourself by writing a book.
Okay, perfect. And her next question is, "I love your idea on paying people based on production. That's what I'm currently doing. What is your advice on selecting staff to come and work for you?"
Oh, they select themselves. If you tell someone their base is zero and they get paid on production, the bad people will run away and the good people will run towards you. They select themselves. With salary, you get anybody. But when it's on production, then all of a sudden only the good people want it. In fact, here's my best suggestion to you, Jonah. Tell somebody they get some percent, like 5% of the revenue in their area, whatever it is, 2%, 1%, 12%, whatever it is, whatever makes sense for your business, or a salary of whatever, 60,000 a year. And the people who take salary don't hire them. And the people who take pop hire them. Because those are the people with high self-esteem. What's the result of our poll?
The brutal poll.
The brutal poll.
Violet said, "Sometimes too harsh, but still good on you. Gets us moving and putting aside the bullshit."
She voted yes and no.
Yeah. Surabani said, "Good for him." Jackie said, "I thought you were clear and just the way it should be. Good on you." Phil said, "Good on you."
Wow.
Okay, so we have our next question. Sorry, let me scroll up.
So we didn't get many responses to that survey, but they were all positive.
Okay. Yona's question is, how do you recommend acquiring a top quality mentor, paid and unpaid? Thank you.
I don't have a good answer for that. The way I do it is I wait till one shows up. I don't know how to go looking for one. I wait till one amazing guru shows up. Yeah, that's what I do, and it's as if they're sent to me. They come when they need to be there. That's my best answer. That I'm telling you actually what I do, Jonah.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, Phil said I'm a math expert, just like you.
Good.
Jack said, awesome, looking forward to the Vancouver event. Vishal from Leicester's question is, what is your best answer for how to become a guru? Or sorry, what is your best answer for how you became a guru?
You don't want to do it the way I did it. Vishal, by the way, is a colleague of mine and a client. I started dozen businesses, each one in a totally different field, and failed in every one of them. And that's how I became wise in so many different industries. But I blew 17 years of my life doing that and didn't know what the hell I was doing and didn't know why it was happening. And then suddenly when I became a teacher, I needed all that wisdom. But that's actually what I did, and I don't recommend it to you. The path that I've set you on, you know what it is. Keep doing that, and that'll get you there.
Okay, so Sabrani's question is, from the UK is, are you going to host a mastermind in the UK?
No, but I'm going to do something better in Bali. Yeah, I'm going to do something better in Bali. Can I talk about that now, Ashar?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? I'm not going to spend much time on this because it's not for everybody. I'm only allowing a very, very few number of people on this. Let me tell you something. I've decided to let it all go. I've decided to give everything I've got in 1 week to a very small number of people. It's going to be roughly 25, 30 people, and that's it. I'm going to spend 1 week, day and night, living and playing and sleeping with a small number of people in the most exotic place in the entire world, and that is the spectacular island of Bali. I was there already a half a year ago, and I fell in love with it. I've decided to go back in December of this year with a very small number of my clients. Ashar, you know me for 10 years, but you also know my history from before that. How many times have I ever invited clients, even one client, on any trip I've ever taken, and I take a 1 week vacation every month for 30 years, how many trips have I ever invited clients on?
About never times.
About never? You got it. About never ever. In round numbers, somewhere around 0. And I've decided to do it for the first time ever. I've got approval from my wife, Karen, and she's really looking forward to it. She tells me I have to screen my clients very well so we get really good people. And this is going to be a get rich no matter what, hang with the guru and totally get it. You're going to hang with the guru. I'm going to be your guru. You're going to hang with me. But you're not just, it's not going to be a lecture format. You're going to sit beside me in the luxury bus when I take you to amazing sites. You're going to sit beside me as we eat 3 meals a day. You're going to sit beside me. You're going to stand beside me. You're going to tour beside me. And when things go wrong, you're going to see how I react. You're going to see what I do. You're going to ask me questions. I'm going to be right there with you for an entire week. You're going to actually experience the real me, not the stage Raymond. Because, you know, when you see Brad Pitt, you don't see Brad Pitt. You see the character that Brad Pitt is playing. If you actually lived with him for a week, you'd know the real Brad Pitt. Well, I'm to some extent on stage when you see me, and so you're seeing the on-stage Raymond. You're seeing the teacher Raymond. But the teacher Raymond is not what gets rich. It's the real Raymond that gets rich. Teacher Raymond is just one of the things that Raymond does. And so I'm going to let a small number of people get rich, a small number of people. And I'm going to give them about 100, no, it's more than that, 1,000, oh my God, I never thought about this. I'm going to give them about 1,000 times the value of their tuition. Whoa, I never thought about that, Ashar. They give me $1, I give them $1,000.
Wow.
They give me a penny, I give them 1,000 pennies. Wow. Wow, I never thought about that. Wow. So the way it's going to work is you fly to Bali, you live with me for a week. You live with me for a week. I take you to the most amazing places that only the natives know about. I handle everything. I handle all the transportation, handle all your breakfast, all your dinners. I'm even going to make you feel so special by giving you a massage every day. Not me personally. I'm not going to be the massage therapist.
That's
But
the super VIP level.
oh my God, that should be the under level. I don't think you'd want a massage from me. So you will get a massage every day and breakfast and dinners every day special. You'll get to travel with me to different parts of Bali. I'll pay for everything. It's going to be amazing. But here's the big thing. You know that when you want to register for coaching with me, it's typically, at the very least, $15,000. And even then, at $15,000, I think you just get half an hour with me. And in order to get a lot of time with me, in order to get like a full day with me, just one full day, it's typically in the $60,000 to $120,000 range. So what I've organized is a way for you to have one-on-one time with me, but it's not in the $60,000 to $120,000 range. No. What I've done is I've organized something where you can get one-on-one time with me, coaching and one-on-one time and personal experience with me and hanging with me, and the entire thing is tax deductible. That's the amazing thing. It's all tax deductible, and I'm even going to pay for all your hotels. I'm going to pay for everything. And so let me explain what you get. For an entire week, from November 30th to December 5th, November 30th to December 5th, so you got to arrive the day before because we start first thing in the morning on November 30th in Bali, and then we go till late at night on December 5th, so it's solid all those days. November 30th, December 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is solid, morning to night. So you arrive the day before, you leave the day after, or stay longer if you wish. And I'll make sure you get breakfast, I'll make sure you get dinners, I'll make sure you get a massage every day. I'll rent a charter luxury vehicle and take you to places you could never get to. There's a beach in Bali. Oh my gosh. There's a beach in Bali that has the most magnificent sunset in the entire world. And I'm going to have tables. I want you to picture this, Ashar. I'm going to have tables put out on that beach, and I'm going to have beautiful tablecloth put on that table. I'm going to have wine or whatever they want to drink on the table, and I'll have a chef prepare some grilled food on the table, like grilled chicken or grilled steaks or whatever they want, or grilled lobsters, like whatever they want. And then we're going to get all dressed up, except we'll be bare feet. And we're going to watch the most beautiful sunset in the world, eating a grand meal specially made for us. I'll bring the chairs and tables onto the beach. They'll never forget these experiences. And when you see how I react, when you ask me a question and I say, well, how can you double that, just like Bob Proctor did to me, and you find your income going from wherever it is, maybe it's $60,000 a year and it goes to 120, or maybe it's 100 and it goes to 200. Imagine your income going from 80,000 to $250,000 a year, and you don't just make that extra $170,000 once, you make it every year for the rest of your life. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine that? Can you imagine that? Because what I'm suggesting is that you get 1,000 times your money back. I'm predicting that your lifetime income will be higher by about $4 million. I'm calculating that your income will go up by about $4 million lifetime, and I'm charging only only $4,700, $4,500 paid in full. So for $1,566 a month for 3 months, for only $1,566 a month for 3 months, for only $1,566 a month for 3 months. So if you got $1,566, and you can do it for another 2 months after that, You'll pay your airfare, but airfare to Bali now is unbelievably low price. It's really unbelievably low. I'll pay for all your accommodation, your breakfast and your dinners. I'll make sure you have a massage every day. I'll take you to tourist places you could never ever get to on your own. And what's even more amazing, it's only 1566 a month for 3 months, and that's tax deductible, so it drops to about 800 bucks. 800 bucks? 800 bucks for your income to go up by about $4 million? That's astounding. That's what I'm talking about. And you get all that private time with me. Private time with me will typically cost you $60,000 to $120,000, and that's all included. Your accommodations is included, the touring, the bus, the special beach sunset, the massages, everything. It's all included. And for double that tuition, so it's for double $1,566 a month for 3 months, you get VIP treatment. VIP treatment gets extra private time with me, gets a double massage every day, and gets to sleep at the #1 most beautiful home ever built in the entire world. You will be one of the few people to have ever slept at the most spectacular home that has ever been built. It's called Bamboo House. Bamboo House Bali. All you do is Google Bamboo House Bali, and your jaw will drop to the floor. It's the prettiest, most spectacular, most architecturally significant home ever built. It is continuously, always featured in Architectural Digest magazine. They just can't stop featuring it because it's just so spectacular. And it's designed so amazingly, there's not a single nail or a single screw in the entire building, which is 4 stories tall. It's unbelievable. So at the VIP level, you get a double massage every day. You get a private whirlpool hot tub every day. You get additional super private time with me, and you get to sleep at historic Bamboo House, the most distinguished home ever built, and you'll be one of the few people in history to have ever done that. There are 10 spots at VIP, and that's for sure because the owner of Bamboo House absolutely forbids more than 10 people to stay there at any one time. That's it. So there's 10 VIP, and I'm allowing about 20 general admission, and that's it, and I'm cutting it off. That's it. Why? I want to make this very intimate. So I want good people. I want really, really good people. If you're interested, call this number right away, 1-905-266-0375. 1-905-266-0375, and say, I want to go on Bali. I hope Raymond accepts me. And then talk to her. Her name is Jennifer. Talk to her. She's in charge of deciding who gets to go on the Bali trip. And for a very short time, you can still get the early bird special at only $1,566, and then 2 more equal, easy installments a month and 2 months from now. Only $1,566, and you get the early bird special. Where can you get private time with me at the most exotic place in the world and get dinners and breakfast and your entire stay, your hotels, and that exotic beach sunset, and it's tax deductible because it's not going to be called Bali Vacation, it's called Bali Retreat. It's a business retreat. If Internal Revenue Service or Revenue Canada or Inland Revenue in the UK ever contact us and say, one of our taxpayers has claimed this, was this really a business retreat? The answer is absolutely, absolutely, because the point is to increase your income. And by the way, you will leave the retreat with the ideal 2015. The absolutely ideal 2015, and I absolutely assure you that your income in 2015 will be much higher than your income in 2014. I absolutely assure you that your income in 2015 will be way higher than your income in 2014. How much higher? Well, it'll certainly be a few $1,000s higher, and that's the tuition. And so, my gosh, it'll probably be way, way higher than that. And so it's an easy decision. You get to vacation with me. You get to earn way more money. You get to have private time with me. You get to visit or a VIP actually stay at unbelievable Bali house, massage every day. But it's the special time with me, and it's tax deductible. For gosh sakes, it's tax deductible. So 1566, by the way, if you're American, 1566 is in wincy Canadian dollars, wincy tinsy insignificant Canadian dollars. If you're in England, my gosh, 1566 comes out to pennies or pence in pounds. It's almost nothing for you, and it's all tax deductible. Amazing. Call 905-266-0375. 905-266-0375, and be one of the few that I allow into the Bali retreat. It's the most amazing thing. In 31 years, I've wanted to do a retreat, and I've never done it. This is my first one, and my intention is to never do it again. This is it. I'm going to take 30 people, get them rich, starting by having the most amazing year of their life immediately in 2015. So you immediately start with a better year in 2015, and then you have the higher income for the rest of your life. That's what I'm offering. That's pretty good. Now, the tuition for the general admission is $10,000 US, and the tuition for VIP is $20,000 US. The early bird special is only $1,566 Canadian today, only $1,566 Canadian today, and 2 more easy equal payments a month and 2 months from now. The best deal I've ever given. And you get to hang with the guru, get amazing content, and be in an uplifting environment. Call Jennifer immediately to get in on that, because the tuition has to go up, because that's crazy low. It's way too low. Okay, do we have some more questions? Or do you have questions on Bali? Ask me questions about Bali, or ask me questions about create your own economy. Because what I'm trying to do is create your economy. I'm trying to get you rich. I'm trying to do everything I can. I'm answering questions for free here at my own time, at my own cost, at Ashar's own cost. Of course, Sophia is probably happy to get rid of you. That's why she sticks you in the basement. I've got to negotiate on your behalf, Ashar. You are worth more than a basement dweller. You got no pictures on the walls. She hasn't made it friendly for you. Come on. You got to put up pictures of sexy cars. You love cars. How come you don't have any pictures?
I have an 8-foot by 4-foot whiteboard on one of the walls, but you can't see it.
Yeah, but that's for taking notes. That's for making my business better. I want you to feel great.
Yeah.
How come Sophia doesn't want to cherish her man?
Okay, I will. I'll have something up next. I have them all in the packed away. I need to put them all up.
Enjoy that man cave. Pretend that it's Bali. Put up a picture of Bamboo House. Listen, here's your homework to everybody listening. Google Bamboo House Bali. Only one thing will come up. It's the most famous house in the entire world. When you see it, you'll be dazzled. People don't even get in to see it. There's armed guards around it because they don't want anyone near it. It's so amazing. Yeah. Okay, so any questions about Create Your Own Economy, 3-day workshop? Any questions about Bali Retreat? It fulfills all 3 of the rules about hanging with great gurus, getting great content, and being in an uplifting, upstanding environment.
Okay, we have a question. Is the $4,500 Bali price for one person or a couple?
One person.
Okay.
You're welcome to bring your spouse, but that's for one person. Why? Because almost all the money you give me, I have to give back to the hotel and to the chef, because I'm paying for all your hotel, I'm paying for your breakfast, I'm paying for your lunch, I'm paying for the vehicles. Like, it's expensive.
Okay, so Jackie from Vancouver, she said, I want to be in Bali with you. I'm going to make this happen, whatever it takes.
Okay, Jackie, what's Jackie's last name? Do you have it there?
I do not.
Okay, Jackie, can you text us back and just give us your full name? Don't read it out, Ashar. Don't read it out. Just Jackie, just give it back to us so we can take good care of you.
Okay, perfect.
And just confirm to me, Ashar, that Jackie has confirmed her surname. so we know who she is and can take good care of her. But don't read it out. We'll keep her privacy.
Yeah, no, I won't.
Because you know what? When people do things that I like to help them. And what Jackie's done is she's put her hand up and say, count me in, count me in. And I like people who take action. Because action takers get rich. People who hem and haw and sleep on it, they don't get rich. Action takers get rich. Jackie's an action taker. Jackie, what's your last name? I'll tell you my last name. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. My last name is Aaron, A-A-R-O-N. Okay? Fair exchange. You need to tell me your last name.
Okay, while we wait for that, Surabani from the UK's question is, what type of hotel are we going to stay in if we are not a VIP?
I've arranged for a really spectacular bed and breakfast. There's several bed and breakfasts around the Bali bamboo house that are really, really very high quality, and the proprietors are loving and kind. They keep an absolutely neat and spectacular place. I've seen them. They're so beautiful. And the proprietors, that is the owners that take care of you, are so loving. It's a really special place. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. Thank you. They're just super high quality bed and breakfast locations. It feels like a resort. When you're inside, you think you're in a resort in the middle of Hawaii or something. It's just spectacular. Good question. And what was that name?
That is Surabani.
From UK?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, UK. Okay, UK.
Okay, so we have actually Ozzy has a question about his authorities chapter.
Okay.
Ozzy, I will message Raymond, and Raymond or Jennifer will connect with you directly about your authorities chapter.
Yeah, so just for everyone else to understand, Ozzy was asking a very specific question that probably is better handled privately, and so he's going to put Ozzy in charge of the person who runs that program, and she'll immediately get back to you. So we'll take good care of you, Ozzy.
And we have a couple of comments from the previous poll.
Okay?
Yona's comment is, I like your direct approach, and I think it's fantastic. You are taking feedback on board. However, I think you can go further by being more sociable, and it's worth practicing.
More sociable and...
It's worth practicing.
Oh, so she likes that I'm direct, but she wants me to be a little more... What's the word? A little more discreet, or... Yeah, you're probably right, Jonah.
And then Surabani has a question from the UK. I've been written about in our local newspaper regarding my book. How can I use this to earn more money?
Oh my gosh. Get an image of it and put it on your website. And when you're in conversation with people, mention it, but not at the beginning. Mention it somewhere in the middle of the conversation. Hi, what's your name? Surabani. What do you do? Well, I'm the author. I'm the award-winning author of the book. You say the name of the book. And they say, really, what it's about? And then you say your subtitle, and they say, wow. And then they ask you questions like, well, how do you deliver it? Do you give webinars? Do you hold hotel meetings? Do you have CDs? How do you do it? And you talk to them and say, by the way, it's been working very, very well. I actually got written up in the local newspaper quite recently. And they say, really? And then when you mention it like that, when it seems to come up in the conversation, people will get more and more impressed with you. And the more they say, wow, the more you're branded.
Another thing you can do, if you do any direct mail, or if you put together any brochures or packages for prospects, you can always insert a photocopy of that article in the direct mail package as social proof.
Yeah, social proof is an internet marketing term for if other people are doing it, I should do it too. Social proof is like a long lineup in front of a restaurant. If there's two restaurants, one beside the other, and one has a long lineup and the other is empty, you'd think that you should go into the empty one because there wouldn't be a lineup. But people would rather line up because of the social proof. It means lots of other people like it, therefore I will likely like it.
Phil's question from Loon UK is, what is your reaction to a book with the title of Cancer PLC? What you don't know about cancer could be killing you now.
I don't know what PLC stands for.
Yeah, I don't either.
PLC might be a UK term, in which case I don't know it. It may be very famous in the UK, so I just don't know it. Or it might be something that's so specific to your industry that you think everybody knows it, but they don't. Like Ashar, I was speaking to somebody a couple of days ago, and they were mentioning a person's name that I knew, and I said, oh yes, I've done a JV with that person. And they said, what does JV stand for? Well, I use the term JV constantly because it means joint venture, and it's so common in my industry, I didn't realize other people didn't know what it meant. And so PLC might be a term that you use so regularly that you think everybody knows it, but I don't know that everybody knows it.
Okay, Jackie's question is, what do you say when you just have a title and book is not yet complete? My title is that you helped with is Crack the Cocaine Code Permanently.
Right. So you say, hi, what's your name? You say your name. What do? And you say, I am the author of the upcoming book, Crack the Cocaine Habit Permanently. I am the author, present tense. I am, that's important, am means present tense. The means you're not in the sea of sameness. I am the author of the upcoming book, Crack the Cocaine Habit Permanently.
Perfect.
That's what I'm saying.
Phil's question from the UK is, what's the best way to promote my book before it is printed?
I just gave the answer. You tell people, I am the author of the upcoming book, and people get really impressed.
Okay, Phil from the UK, he's saying that PLC is Public Limited Company. So I guess it's Cancer, like Cancer LLC for Americans. It's Cancer PLC in the UK.
Oh, and so he means cancer is big business.
Right.
I see. So read me the title and subtitle again.
Let me find it. Cancer PLC. What you don't know about cancer could be killing you now.
I like it. I like it. But if you have any desire to sell it outside of the United Kingdom, that title won't work. So it might be better to say Cancer Incorporated, because everyone in England knows the term incorporated, and it's a very common term in North America. But nobody in North America knows the term PLC. So my suggestion is that you change it to Cancer Incorporated, which will give you exactly the same impact, but a wider audience.
Okay.
So let me ask the most important person if I'm too abrupt with people. My amazing 13-year-old daughter is here, and I'm going to ask her, Emmy, you've been listening to me for over 2 hours, answering questions, answering questions. And on one hand, maybe my clarity is too abrupt and not enough affinity with people, or maybe my clarity is perfect because it gives them the direct answer immediately. So is what I do too far on one side, meaning that I hurt people's feelings because I'm too abrupt, or is it too far not too far, or is it on the other side if I give just like really good advice quickly? What do you think? Ah. So Emma said that it's okay what I do as long as I don't speak that way to her. And so what? So she pretended to say yes, and then she zinged me with a no. So Emma has actually voted no. It's not okay. Darn it. So I picked up this habit of, what do you call it, Emma? Is it called? Am I being rude, or just abrupt, or thoughtless, or what word would you use? Abrupt. But is abrupt bad? Ashar, do you think abrupt is bad? Abrupt has a negative connotation.
I think if you ask permission to be abrupt, it's okay. Or
No, it's
can I be
not.
frank? No, can I be frank with you? You know, maybe
Yes,
frank. That's the word, maybe.
but no, if you say, can I be frank, everyone says yes.
There
And
you
then I'm
go.
frank, and then they get upset.
No, they won't get upset because they allowed you. They gave you permission.
No, but everybody does. It's socially
You
improper to
know
say
what? You
no.
can't. Certain things you can't. Everything cannot be sugar coated because everyone else will sugar. You're coaching. You're coaching our clients right now. You're their coach, so they're clients. But at the same time, they want the truth, right? If you're gonna
They want the truth, but they don't want it so fast. They want it a
the
little,
slow truth.
they want it a little slower. They want it a little more delicately. Like, when you say to somebody, do you want do you want the do you want it sugar coated or straight? People say, oh, I want it straight. But then when they get it straight, they say, ooh, you're too abrupt. Now, really,
It's true.
like when a speaker's on stage and says, oh, my time is up, and then turns to the audience and say, is it okay if I go longer? Every audience says yes. It's not a valid poll. And they always say yes. Can I be frank? Everyone says yes. Nobody says, no, you're not allowed to be frank. You
Okay.
have to pretend I'm nice.
Can I flip it though? Do you, as a coach now, and I know some of the trainings you've been in. So as a coach now, do you prefer to hear someone's story, or do you prefer for them to get the truth quickly for you to help them? What do you prefer from your clients? Truth
Oh,
quickly or story?
I want to hear it fast. I want to know, I want to get the information fast from them.
Right.
But sometimes the way that I get the information is indirectly through a story because they may not know what the issue is. In fact, the reason they come to me is they don't know what the issue is. So they tell me a story. They say, well, when this happens, that always happens. And then yesterday she did this and I did that. So they can't tell what the cause is. They can tell me the symptoms. And so they usually have to tell me a story.
Okay.
But I think I need to be gentler. I think I need to be gentler. Emma, do you think I should be gentler? She said yes. Uh-oh. What do you think? You want me to be a good coach, Ashar, but I think I can be a good coach, give them fast, abrupt information, but still be a little gentler.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Karen would approve of that. Okay, that's my goal. That's my goal. I will be a gentler soul.
Okay. The next question is from Jackie. How do you stay motivated every day, Raymond?
Oh, motivated, not me. I'm gentle. How do I stay motivated? Well, thanks for your question. And being gentler. Did you like that? I said thanks for your question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks. I don't have to motivate myself because I do only what I love. I do only what I love. I do 3 things this lifetime, and I love all 3 of them. Number 1, I design educational material, like what I'm teaching here. Number 2, I teach, which is what I intend to be doing here. And number 3, I inspire people to be their best, which is what I hope I'm doing here. That's what I do. And I don't need to be motivated to do that. I need to be motivated when I'm not doing that. For example, I can teach. Well, yesterday, Ashar, you know this, I videotaped for 13 straight hours, from 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. From 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. And where is that information? It's in this little toy. Can you see this, Ashar?
Yeah.
This is my life. My life is in here. I did 13 straight hours of videotaping from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And it's somehow all those videos are in here. I don't understand how that works. And I didn't get tired till after my staff left and I had no audience. Like, my staff wasn't the audience, but I imagined that my audience was inside the camera. And I was high and eager for 13 hours. And as soon as I went back home, I got tired. And I can teach for 12 hours in a day and be high. As soon as my clients leave, all of a sudden my energy drops. So I get my energy from doing what I love. I get my energy from doing what I love. That's the best. And if I have to do something, well, actually I don't. I never do it. I never do anything I don't love, because I own the company and I make the decree. I do only those three things. And the other things that I don't want to do, either other staff does it or it doesn't get done. I don't care. I only want done what people love to do. So if I ask Ashar to do something and he doesn't love it, he's going to do it lousy. So why bother asking him to do it? Not because he's bad, because if he doesn't love it, he can't possibly do it well.
Okay, Andrew from Johannesburg's question is, hi Raymond, I'm excited about my upcoming book, Ask for Advice. Friends and family are looking forward to get a copy of my book, and excitement on my book is gigantic. Thank you for all your input and contribution towards the book.
Andrew, you rock. You rock. Andrew, can you come to Bali? Man, I'd love you to be in Bali. Just type back. Do we have any other questions, Ashar?
We had another question. Someone asked, when is the next time you're coming back to Johannesburg?
I don't have a date, but it'll be early Q1 2015.
And then Phil from the UK's comment is, thank you, Raymond, for that change in the title of Cancer Incorporated.
Wow! He changed the title because of that?
Yeah.
That's my man! That's my man! I got to give you a big hug. In Bali. Come to Bali. Let me hug you in Bali.
And then Phil also said, it's like Bob Proctor says, you don't have to floss your teeth, only the ones you want to keep.
Okay. Bob Proctor says that?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't floss all your teeth, just the ones you want to keep. Okay. Okay.
And that was the last question, Raymond.
All right. Well, it's been 2 hours, and I have my wonderful daughter with me. I cherish all the time that she is with me. She lives with her mom, and I'm on excellent relationships with her mom, but still I don't get to see her as much as I want. Can I show them a picture of you? Can I turn the video around? Come on. Come on, let me turn it. Here's my daughter, my wonderful daughter.
Hello.
Hi,
Emma.
and can I boast on Emma? Come around here. Emma just graduated from grade 6.
7.
7? You did not. Grade 7? Oh yeah. See, I haven't seen her in a while. My daughter graduated from grade 7. Wait till you hear this. With the highest average in the entire grade. She graduated with the highest average in the entire grade, tied with her best friend Andrea. They both got 92.1%. Can you imagine that?
Holy crap.
92. Now, I'm really smart, and her mom is really smart, but neither of us ever got marks that high. So she's not the average of the two of us. She's not even the maximum of the two of us. She leapt over both of us. I don't know how that works. Like, you must have got some genes from me and genes from her, and somehow you got some genes from some other geniuses lying around. So, and I teach my Emma just like I teach you. Is there something you'd like to say to my clients?
Hi.
Tell them about gentle. Who do you think is gentler, me or Ashar?
Mm, both of you.
Oh, baloney. Ashar's much gentler than I am. Ashar's much gentler. Oh my gosh. Emma, what would be your evidence that I succeeded in being gentler? Like, what would be the metric? What would be the benchmarks? You'd say, Dad, you're gentler.
If you didn't go to school and no one told you that you were harsh.
Oh.
But honestly.
Of course, honestly, yeah. I wouldn't rig the poll. No. Ashar would ask the question. So will you remind me, Ashar, next month we're going to have a poll like in the middle of the Google Hangout, and I'm going to say to people, if you were on last month's Google Hangout in July and you're on this month's Google Hangout in August, say gentler or not if you think I'm gentler in August than way back in July. And then they'll vote gentler or they'll say not. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I will remind you, and Phil and Suravani both are congratulating Emma for doing so well in school, and so is Ashar. Congratulations, Emma.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tied for the highest mark in the grade.
Wow.
That's a wow. Will you do pi? Come on, get close. I want to tell you something. Emma, there was a pi contest in her school, and that means whoever recites pi to most decimal places wins a pie. And Emma wanted the pie, so she memorized pi when she was just a little kid to I think 80 or 70 decimal places, and the next year more, and next year more. And in the most recent year, she memorized pi to 210 decimal places. 210 decimal places, and some new girl that she'd never seen before, who just started school like a day or two before, got it to 230 places. So Emma came second that year, but she came first the year before, and I think every year before, right? She won the pie contest every year, and then when she skyrocketed up to 210 places, she came second. But she can do something now that's unbelievable, but she'll have to sit where I am and get closer to the camera, and wait to hear this. Emma can recite pi faster than you can listen. Like, can you believe this? She can recite pi faster than you can listen. Like when I recite pi, you can listen. 3.141592653588979. Like, you can hear it. You can actually hear it. But when Emma recites pi, it's so fast. You can hear it, but it's faster than you can listen. Like, I tried to follow along to see if she said it right, and my finger couldn't move fast enough. So Emma, I want you to sit here, and I want you to get close up, because sometimes you speak too quietly and they can't hear you. So get right up and bellow it out. Don't do it quietly. Do it loudly so they can hear you, okay? Okay, here it is.
No pressure.
No pressure. Go ahead.
3.14159265358979375105820897492307816286208989208099862803482.
Wow.
Wow.
How many decimal places was that?
I forgot a bit of it, but that was about 125.
Holy.
So she can't go that fast to the whole 210, but she can go way over 100 at that speed.
Wow. That was like in 10, that was like 15 seconds. Holy crap.
Isn't that amazing? So on that note, have we covered everybody's questions, Ashar? There's no lingering questions sitting there?
We have, we do. We have Andrew. He said, "Hi Raymond, I'm coming to Bali. We'll call to make final arrangements."
Andrew, do you have his last name there?
I will message Jennifer and let her know.
Okay, good. So Jackie, Surabani, Jackie and Andrew and Surabani from UK are coming for sure that we know of, and I just got a text from Jennifer saying several people have already called her, so that's wonderful. Because I want my best customers to get in at the early bird price. I mean, $15.66 for gosh sakes, $15.66 for a week to live with Raymond. Wow.
In Bali.
In Bali. And if you pay extra, I won't massage you. If you pay extra, I'll get a real massage therapist, not me. You don't want a massage from me. And also, you get to vacation with my wife and ask her, because she runs a company larger than mine, and she is a genius. She really is a genius. She's going to be there too. You're going to learn so much. Okay, I loved our time here, and I have a goal to be a gentler soul by August. And Nashar, you have a goal to have a gorgeous man cave by August. Okay?
Yes.
I'll be gentler, and you'll be, at least your environment will be prettier.
Yeah.
Because it's important. Put up those gorgeous shots of those super muscle cars that you like.
Yeah. I will.
Okay, my friend?
That was good.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.